How's it going, everybody? So in this video, we're pretty much wrapping up one of the last exercises in the Attacking Web Applications with FFUF module in HTB Academy. So we're pretty much on the last one before the skills assessment. So here we're actually working on value fuzzing. In the previous video, we were looking at parameter fuzzing, which was we were trying to get the name of the parameter that the web page uses. Now we're actually trying to get the value of that parameter so that we can access the web page and, of course, grab the flag. So let's go ahead and jump right in, spawn the target system. So the instructions are a little bit wordy, but it's pretty much easy to follow. So there's quite a few things here. So first, it wants us to create an IDs text word list. Then it wants us to identify the accepted value with the fuzzing scan. And then we're going to use a post request with curl to collect the flag. So in the cheat sheet, if you look at it, we're going to be using two commands. We're going to be using this command here and then also this command as well. So in your environment, we're going to create this IDs text word list. And you can find how to do this in the tutorial. If you scroll up pretty much at the top of the page, you can just copy this and then paste it into your terminal. So I have my text editor opened. So I'll go ahead and copy that guy. And then, of course, navigate to where you want to save the file. So right now, my working directory is desktop, so that's where I'm going to save it. So go ahead and paste that guy in, and then hit enter. And then now you have that text file created, and you can see the contents. If you do cat ids.txt, and then it's pretty much just a file with numbers from 1 to 1,000. So we'll go ahead and clear that. So now that we have that created, now we have to identify the accepted value with the fuzzing scan. So we're going to use this command right here. So let's go ahead and type that in. So FFUF-W. And then, of course, the location of your burp parameter names text word list. So my location is going to be in the user share. So discovery web content, and then burp parameter names.txt, :fuzz-u, and then admin.academy.htb. And then the port for me is 31678, and then /admin, admin.php, because again, we're using that same website, or that same directory, which is admin, and then admin.php as a web page, and then we're using the same subdomain of admin.academy.htb. And then -x, post, because now we're using post request, -d, and then fuzz equals key, and that quote there, and then -h, and then content type application /x www form URL encoded, and then end quote. And then go ahead and hit enter. And then you're going to get a bunch of results, of course, but now we got to filter that. So Control C out of there. And then the size we can see is 798. So we can clear this, we'll up arrow, and then FS 798. And then we'll let that guy run. So this is going to tell us the parameter that the web page uses. So we'll let this run here for a bit. And there we go. So we know that the parameter name is ID. So now we can use that with the IDs text word list that we created earlier. And then another thing I forgot to mention, before you start the exercise, make sure you edit your hostname file for your DNS entries. So what I did is I already entered it beforehand to make sure that the IP address that it provides you is linked to admin.academy.htb. Because the previous exercises in this one, they're using that same subdomain. So make sure that's in there, and if you have to modify it, go ahead and modify it, or else that FFUF command won't work. So just to show you guys that, I'll just Control X out of there. All right, so now we have the ID as a parameter name. So now we can use that IDS text word list. So I'm going to up arrow again. So instead of using the sec list, we're going to use our IDS text word list on the desktop. So we're going to just remove everything here. Well, not quite everything. So for me, I saved it in the desktop directory. So that's going to be home, and then Italia Tech, and then desktop. So now what this is going to do is it's going to take that IDS text word list file. It's going to go through each number to figure out what that ID number is. And then don't forget to change the value here. So instead of fuzz equals key, we're going to go ID equals fuzz, because we know that the parameter name that it accepts is ID. So now we got to figure out, okay, well, what number does that web page respond to? And then go ahead and hit enter. And then always double check to make sure that you entered it correctly. So looks like I didn't. Oh, I forgot to specify the name of the file. So over here, right after desktop, I just have to put ids.txt and then hit enter. And then we have to filter one more time. So I can see that the size is 768. So we're going to filter by 768 instead of 798 like last time. Go ahead and hit enter. And just like that, we can see that the ID number is 73. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and clear everything here. So the last thing now that it asks us is to use a curl command. So we'll go ahead and type that in. So curl, and then the website here, HTB, and then colon, it's going to be 31678, and then admin.php, and then -x, post, -d. Now ID we're going to put equals 73, and then end the quote there, -h, and then content type colon application /x -www -form -url encoded, and then go ahead and hit enter, and then look at the results. And if you scroll up, you can see that the flag is right there. So there you guys go. So yeah, it's kind of a lengthy process to get to that flag, but if you go in order, you know, it makes it a lot easier. Just take it one step at a time. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and useful. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.